But I agree that this deck is like this deck could just be fucking broken. So maybe 3/3 because Bolt commits crimes more often. Yeah, that's why I would want to favor Bolt, is because Bolt can finish your opponents off, which is like really important. And then we just have the other pushes in the sideboard, but Bolt it just targeting your opponent's face is really is really important. So I think I do want to have this. Also, like we have this is the splash card, so it's a bit easier to cast on turn one. I kind of want to play the third Weather the Storm in the sideboard. I just feel like Burn is so popular. Maybe a little bit more popular than I was expecting. Could go down a Damping Sphere. Could go down to Thoughtseize. I think I'll go down to Damping Sphere. This looks fine. What about 1 or 2 Scapeshift? Richard? How long ago did you tune in? Because I think it may have been 1 minute ago. I went on a long tirade, but I find myself boarding out Scapeshift or Wish almost every single game, and I found that I just wanted to go like down those +2 removal spells after a lot of testing. I know you could pillage into Scapeshift and win the game, but also just pillaging into Dryad or Lookout is just also enough most of the time, or the ring to stabilize. It just I think Scapeshift just win more. So I guess it's not Jund Crime Shift, but anymore, but Jund Crime Valakut Crime. Sometimes I'll have a bad title for the Mox field, but by the time I get it to the Twitch title, it's a bit better. Does the one Boseiju make sense without Wish? Yeah, I mean, I think you just mostly want to board in Boseiju against decks where Boseiju is good and just not have it in your main deck. I know that's like just so simple, but Boseiju does commit crimes, so which is nice. I just don't think it's good enough against the general like population to want to play and like just have one less mountain, because you really want to hit mountains off of Lookout, if that makes sense. So I think the first copy of Boseiju is better than like the 4th Pick Your Poison in the sideboard. I don't think Scape should go some Wishes, some good people. Well, we've been playing Wishes a lot. I think with Pillage the Bog in the deck, you don't want to play Wish, is my current impression. And like I just playing the deck a lot. I playing so much of the green-red list. I wanted 2 more removal spells and 2 less Wishes, and splashing black for Fatal Push and Pillage just makes a lot of sense. And then also playing Pillage over Magda, I think, is nice also. Where Magda's fine. Magda's good card in the deck, but let's just pillage into more Lookouts, and Lookout is the good card. We're on the draw with a pretty medium hand, but let's probably keep this one. Why did we drop the Bronco deck after 1 league? I did a poll of like what people were more interested in seeing, this one or that one, and this one won by a lot. You should have done more lobbying. Yeah, it's really nice to just be able to switch decks really fast. I mean, I like Mana Traders. I still have my Mana Traders account. So I have to graveyard this because it's a good hit off Ragavan. That would have been a good top deck last turn. Why couldn't I have won the die roll? That's so much to ask. Maybe it is. They cast that. They have a fetch line to go with it. I do think it's very funny how many people are like, Spike, have you considered Escape Shift in your Valakut deck? I come to you with this technology, Escape Shift. Yeah. Did I get the Mox update troll? 14 months, thank you. Welcome back, hope you're doing well. Yeah, I just need to probably keep Chrome open, huh? It looks like it is up to date though. Can you play challenges with the account? I can, but at the moment I prefer to play tournaments on the Aspiring Spec account. At least showcase challenges, because I need to keep my qualifier points there. I only think it's happy because they call it Junscape shit. I guess so. They keep a card on top here. Doesn't seem like we have the luxury of being able to wait a turn to go Lookout plus push for the crime. We do that next turn. Kind of interesting. Is it better to kill the Channeler because it's one more damage and gives him selection, or is it better to kill the Ragavan because one extra mana might make it easier for them to hold up counterspell? Not sure. Love to draw a Bauble. I have considered. I unironically was trying to play Coco for a long time. With the Dryad Freestrider Lookout. I think Pillage the Bog is just going to be like it has. Pillage has just been a phenomenal card in general. It's already been, you know, seeing a lot of play in other Scapeshift decks. I think you should just here makes a lot of sense. So we're down to 7 life points. Do get to go Lookout plus push. Oh, we're getting Subtletied. Okay. We're going to play that game. Get the Wrenn and Six, the Ragavan. In better shape for sure. Gonna bring in the pushes, the Picker Poisons, the Edicts. Sideboarding is definitely like a little bit tougher now. Maybe a lot a bit tougher. I think I'm gonna cut all the Baubles, which is kind of weird. Bauble's obviously so good with Lookout, but I think we just kind of need to make some room. Could probably cut the 4th Bolt. I need all these Picker Poisons for Blood Moon. Good 61 card special then. Kind of like that. Yeah, you could trim a Bog. But like it's also like you could that's kind of what I was thinking. Like you could trim a Bog and be 60. But I think I'd kind of just rather have the 4th Bog and be 61. Any shells in the Desert Pink Lands could go with Lookout? Probably in Standard. I would guess in Standard. Yeah, I think with the Picker Poisons, you don't need the Boseiju. Like, Boseiju is only good against Blood Moon, and we just have, like, 3 answers to that card. Plus Jegantha. I think I have to keep this on the play against Murktide. Not a very easy matchup to mulligan in. Do you ever cut to 25 lands? I haven't ever done that. Okay, opponent's on a mull to 6. People sure have suggested Raven's Crime and Flame Jab a lot. I'm pretty far away from wanting to play those cards. Card quality is really low, and at the moment it just isn't that hard to commit crimes. Okay, incredible card to see on top, despite not having a fetch land, being able to kill a turn 1 creatures, big deal. Although if they just hold up a mana, I probably won't play the Wrenn. Okay, we're trying to resolve it. Probably a priority, although it could be maybe better to go like Dryad into Dwarven Mine and get a 1/1 next turn. So I don't know, I have 6. Like Raven's Crime in this deck is not a consideration. You just don't have nearly enough black mana. The quad quality of these cards is so low. Let's just not include them. You have Wrenn and Six. You know, it's really not where you want to be. That would be a good draw. They exiled Unholy Heats with no Delirium. Do they think they have Delirium? Resolves. Wrenn and Six is so crazy. So I'm assuming they have Force of Negation. So 1 for 0 off the Unholy Heat, 2 for 1 off the Wrenn, 2 for 1 off the Ring. Oh, they did 2 for 1 off. I guess the heat wasn't disadvantaged because it was off the iteration. Got another heat to kill the red. So if this is the Murktide, we'll see what we draw, but I'm probably just going to go Dryad, land, kill the Murktide. Could also just, of course, slam the ring. Oh, that card's good. Oh, I also couldn't land, kill the Murktide because the first fetch didn't trigger. Gonna do this now so I get the damage for sure. Then we don't need to Sudden Edict now because they can't respond to it. So they may sequence something a little different. Well, I guess I also just have black mana off the Dryad. But getting this in play is good if they killed the Dryad. But I could have just gotten Surveil Land and then Black Surveil Land and then tap these two. So a little oopsie doopsie. Is there any existing answers? Split second card MTG? Counterbalance, Flip a Ryo. Chalice of the Void. So the draw, let's bring in the 4th bolts. Yeah, I think I would just rather play 62 than cut a pillage. I think I would just rather play all of these cards than cut any of them. It's kind of weird going up. Shave Wrenn on the draw. I thought about shaving Wrenn on the draw, but like Wrenn and Six is so good against Murktide. I think we just play 62. I genuinely just don't see a good argument for cutting any of these cards. And it's like you could cut pillage, but your deck is more consistent 62 with 2 more pillages than just 60. Yeah, just like cutting Wrenn and Six against Murktide is just like, what are we doing? You know. The tap land. Used to cut the 2 Wish Scapeshift all the time. Now it's supposed to play 62. Well, the thing is, I used to have 4 Magdas in the deck, so I would cut the Magdas pretty often post board because they were the worst card. They were, just like really off plan. But now we don't have these Magdas anymore, so now sideboarding is is right. We don't have this 4 Magdas to cut, so we're playing 62 post board. We maybe should have like less cards for this matchup, but the thing about Murktide is a lot of your cards just kind of overlap and like where you're sideboarding them in. 24 lands. I'm not gonna cut 2 lands. I don't know. I think y'all should maybe just be like less scared of playing 62. I know that it's like unconventional, but to me it just kind of feels like the move. Like the difference is just so small, and like you'd like what lands are you even cutting? You like it, all of these lands are so important. We 3-2'd with the Blast stack, and then I gave chat the option of running it back with Harvester over Voidwalker, which I think could have been kind of good, and they wanted to see this instead. Yeah, we have 4 Pillage the Bog in the deck. It's just fine. Valakut decks in general are just like the most okay going up on cards. Cutting 2 lands is gonna have a similar effect to your land percentage playing 62. It's gonna have a much more drastic effect than playing 62. Cutting 2 lands is a lot more drastic than going up to 62. Let's see if this resolves. Okay, it does resolve. I guess I'm just always playing Commercial District, but we want to see if it resolves first to get the info on what we're doing with the Scribe. Second Dryads. Dryad's really good here with the Valakut, and the Wrenn and Six getting us lands. Should probably just keep it. Emerald is a different beast because of its tutors. Same as its deck. Yeah, I agree. Okay. So hoping to get Force of Negation. Also, yeah, if I go land, so like untapped Valakut into Dryad, then this Valakut should be able to tap for a green. Good turn. This is the Red Green Crime deck. We are playing, or we're doing a black splash for Fatal Push and Pillage the Bog in the main deck, and the rest of the Fatal Pushes, and like a Sudden Edict in the board. And playing Pillage over the Magnas where they were. Okay, will they heat the Wrenn? Will they heat the Dryad? Heating the Dryad. I think this results in their death. We go Dryad, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Can you help me understand how Blood Moon and Dryad interact with? Okay, so if there's a basic land in play, Dryad will just make this basic land always tap for 5 colors because the Blood Moon isn't affecting the basic. Again, so for non-basics, whichever one is placed second is the one that is happening at the moment. Just good sequencing to do that first. And if you say it's layers, people get very upset. Oh, like it is actually layers, right? Timestamps, whatever. It's great that we have a bunch of judges to understand this stuff for us. Yeah, if Dress Down gets into the mix, you just go play EDH instead, probably. Go play Hades 2. I've beaten all the bosses on Hades 2 at this point. No spoilers in the chat for anybody who hasn't played it, but got the one boss I couldn't get yesterday. Great game. Writing's there's so much content despite being early access. Would really recommend it. Writing's good, gameplay's good, art direction's good, voice acting's good, music's good, no complaints. I would really recommend playing Hades 1 first because that game is, one of the best of all time, and they did a good job expanding on like the mechanics and the ideas of the first one. And like what's possible, but I think you like the story and the gameplay is both enriched from having played the first one first because your skills from the first one translate over to the next one. Yeah, the game is harder for sure, I think, in the new one. At least that's been my experience. Okay, let's look for a Dryad over anything else. Impulse not always getting the job done. Might against the ring, huh? Plot time. Pretty common situation to plot on just on turn 3 when you're not like desperate to find a removal spell. Mostly want to find a Dryad. The AREC modern deck, it's okay. Selfie does really well with it. It's a deck you can play for sure. Opponent's doing some Court of Calling math, unfortunately. One Freestrider working time was so bad, but the performance too fast. Yeah, there's a lot of like combos that get you pretty hard, and then also like I think the Field of the Dead decks are just like it's just not a very good strategy. But I don't know. Okay, so let's cast this. Maybe I should wait a turn and just play the ring. I do find a Dryad though. I think we might as well play the ring since we're not triggering the Valakut this turn anyways. We're triggering it next turn. You heard Animal Well is good. My opponent didn't court end of turn, kind of makes sense. Probably going to be courting for Yawgmoth. Their deck likes to try to do that. Second Young Wolf. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pretty dead if they have the Chord of Calling and Chord and draw their deck here. They'll be able to also kill me if they find a Chord for Blood Artist. They do have it. I'm just going to go ahead and concede and give them credit for a Chord of Calling in the top like 18 or Blood Artist in top 18 cards. Just so we don't have to sit through this. So I'm going to bring in the extra 2 pushes. I don't think I'm going to do a lot else. I could maybe play Thoughtseize over the ring. But I think I probably just want to go like -2 rings, +2 push, click submit. Let's probably lock in on this. Pick your poison for Cauldron is like you can play 1, but I think we'll just not. You don't lose to Blood Artist though. I do lose to Blood Artist. My opponent is going to. They're gonna let me untap, and then they're gonna kill me after I lose protection from everything. I don't have protection from everything forever. They just do it on my turn. Null Drifter plus Strict Proctor. Pretty cool. You have 3 draws for push. If I find Fatal Push, I go Fatal Push. My opponent combos in response to Fatal Push. If I find Fatal Push with both, they just combo in response. There's no series of they can also Haywire Might my ring, so I only get 1 draw off the ring I tap end of turn. Why no Magda? I think at the moment that Pillage the Bog is better than Magda in this deck. Gonna save the Bauble for the Lookout, but it's just good to play it out against a deck that has Thoughtseize. And then also getting access to Fatal Push, I think, will help solve a lot of the problems that we're having with the deck, where we're kind of weak to Prowess and Domain Zoom. So maybe we should have more. Did I fare against Yogg in the challenge? I think I played against it 1 time and won. I might have played against it more than once, but as far as I remember, it was 1 time. Okay, let's keep that. Surveil for Black Source in the turn. Yeah, it'll be pretty close to Demonic Tutor on turn 4, probably. I think the matchup's pretty fine. Like, you're dealing a lot of damage. They're not great at killing your Lookouts. They're not great at killing your Dryads. They have some answers, but you also just have a lot of removal spells, too. Maybe should have mulliganed last game. Or did I mulligan and just had a bad one? Did keep 7. Magda was pretty good against Yogg, though, so this is, probably but the pushes are also really are enough better, I guess. We don't need this for crimes. You just have double crime. Can just bottom this. And Magda's like good in the deck. Magda's like totally fine, of course, but she definitely felt like she was just pretty off plan. You know, Pillage very on plan. Yeah, I guess you could go turn 1 Torpor Orb off of Ugin's Labyrinth, and then turn 2 Null Drifter. That would be a sick curve. Draw 2, 4/4 Annihilator 4 in play. Yeah, Magda is a lot better in decks that can make treasures. Otherwise, it's certainly true. Play this first, then let's go Pillage in. If I find another Lookout, which I'm pretty likely to do, I'll play that over the ring. I did not. So I guess I will just grab... I can't bolt and ring. I think I just grab another Demonic Tutor. Or not... Definitively not Demonic Tutor, I guess. No Dryad, no Freestrider in the 12 cards. Kind of stinks. That being said, we're in pretty good shape. I think Pillage the Bog is better than Assemble the Team because of its ability to plot. Assemble does get to dig much deeper on early turns. Assemble is better. Assemble is a better card than Pillage the Bog. So if you're going to play this in Timeless, Assemble just sees like too many cards on turn 2. But Pillage the Bog is better in the context of Modern because it's a card that exists. Opponent does not main deck the Haywire Might activation. I think they think that this will deny me of both cards, but I'll still get to draw a card off the ring. I don't know where this misinfo happened, but it ended up becoming pretty common for people to be under the impression that if you exile the ring in response to the tap, you'd never draw any cards, but you draw cards equal to the number of counters on it. So if you tap it first, there are no counters on it, then yes, you don't get to draw a card. But I had a counter, so I get a card. I also have it shuffled, so I pretty likely to find a Dryad here. There we go. So I think I'm just going to go after the board. I'm going to kill the Grist. I'm going to kill both Young Wolves. I'm going to pop a Relic with the Undying trigger on the stack. And then potentially we'll pop again in response to the Cauldron activation. Probably will. Should tap Relics after Grist died. Yeah, but then it doesn't matter. Like my opponent will be able to target the Grist and I can stop it by popping a Cauldron, or I can choose to not to. No matter what situation happens, so we're just wasting time. Because they can just respond to me tapping both relics by cauldroning on the token, and then I would pop the relic anyways, just like I'm going to do here. You'd have to pop both. You would have to pop both. I have to pop both no matter what happens, is what I'm saying. There's not a situation where I don't have to pop both to do this. That I see at least. The option to kill token instead of a wolf and keep the relic. Why would I want to kill a token instead of the wolf? I want to kill the wolves. That's the combo card. They consider Bronco to surveil heavy deck. I mean, I tried playing Dragon Rage's Channeler in the Bronco shell. I'm certainly open to that card. I think they work well together. Yeah, so next turn we should be able to find a Freestrider Lookout and then go like Lookout, Crime, Trigger, crack on their turn, Crime, Trigger, just blast them to death. So they find another Grist here. Reclamation Sage. Sure. Any challenges with the deck coming up? I'm camping this weekend, so probably not. Unless there just happens to be like a convenient one for me. Okay, interesting. Cauldron decision. Lookout. Wow, no lookout. Really? I think I am supposed to find one. I don't know. Keep that on top just so we can guarantee a mountain off the lookout on their turn. We'll have to rebolt them to commit our crime. Is Bauble just for the crime? Yeah. 0 mana crime committers are pretty ideal. I'm gonna bolt them still. If my opponent's sandbagging Yawgmoth, it's just kind of okay. Especially if we find another Valakut. Hey, Dingo. You're just keeping the board clear. That's where we want to be. Still want that at this point. So we hit them down to 5, and they're dead to my Jegantha, and they're dead to another mountain. And they have nothing going on. Try Bronco and White-Black Hideaway. I haven't. The thing is, splashing black in the Hideaway deck is not very easy to do, and I found that you really just don't want to play like 2-mana creatures that don't give you 2 creatures at once, because the most important thing when the Hideaway deck is to make sure that you are is to make sure that you can put as many creatures into play as fast as possible and overwhelm opponents' removals. It's really bad if your opponent just goes, if they could just play 2 removal spells, 1 removal spell, and easily keep you off 3 creatures. Your deck just doesn't function. Which is why I like the Convoke build, where you just have like 16 0-mana creatures if you're counting the Convokers, the 3-mana Convokers, not the 5-mana Convokers. And then the 2 drops make another token. The Clarion Spirit and Resolute Reinforcements. Yeah, I know that Bronco can reveal Emrakul. Yeah, Bronco can deal you the damage too, which is a problem if you don't saddle it. But you'll saddle it a lot of the time. When I keep Dryads so they're dead to the mountain in your hand. They were, because they were already dead to the mountain in my hand, I just fetch and kill them. I guess you could have kept the Valakut, but they were just dead to the mountain by itself. So if they kill my Valakuts, I wanted something, I guess. Oh, long-time mod of the channel and long-time friend of mine. About to have a baby. Second baby. Wife's water broke at 3 a.m. or water broke at 10:30, and they've been at the hospital since 3 a.m. What's Dwarven Mine for? Your deck's just playing a bunch of fetch lands and mountains, so sometimes you would fetch a mountain, but this mountain comes with a 1/1. Yeah, a future subscriber born. Seeing this deck version is doing well. They're bad matchups. Prowess has been pretty tough, which is part of the reason why we're splashing black, so we can get access to Fatal Push. But yeah, Prowess has been the worst matchup, which is tough because that deck's really popular. Okay, so going to game 3 on the draw against Yawgmoth. So this hand doesn't have any black mana, which is a problem, but we are on the draw with a 26 land deck with the ability to get 4 looks at our second land if we cycle the Relic against a mulligan to 6. I'm going to give this one a go. What's on the shirt? I got this. I think this was from Esther. It was just it says Black Lotus, but I think it's like the actual flower. I don't think it's a reference to the card. So green source looking nice. All right, there's the green source. So my opponent notably can Bowmaster me if I pop the Bauble now, and then it would be, I don't know, a little annoying. We'll just save this for now. Young Athena. So they're repping that they have Bowmaster. So I could Bauble now. Okay, never mind. Take it back. Bowmaster was on top, if not, if it wasn't already in the hand. Still no black mana. I'm just gonna ping the Hierarch, I guess. Let's go down. Tap this, pass. Ping Wolf and tap, question mark, question mark. I feel like it's just better to kill the Mana Dork than to kill the Young Wolf here. Like, because I still just have the Relic against the Young Wolf, so the Young Wolf is not as good of a card. And then, because I have these Fatal Pushes, I can, like, kill the Halfling and try to keep them off of mana. Well, maybe I'm, popping the Relic, so I don't know. Maybe I'm not. I think I'm a little bit too choked on black sources to keep that. Yeah, let's keep the relic. We could, have cycled it in response, but I think the ability to exile the young wolf if they have a Yawgmoth is correct. Looks like a grist. So we're getting attacked for 4. My opponent did miss their land drop here. I think I need to play the One Ring. I also should not have played the Dwarven Mine. I guess it's just a mountain this time. Oh, although the mountain count is relevant here. Thought I'm Brushfire Elemental with Freestrider. I don't know. Don't have thoughts, I guess, on it. So they found their 3rd land, so Yawgmoth online. They pick your poison. I'm going to sack the 1-mana artifact instead of the 4-mana artifact. Now they only have 1 card in their hand. They played Untapped Overgrown Tomb. And their card is a 2nd pick your poison, but I guess I can just go push Bowmaster and play 2nd ring. And then I'm going to go ahead and play Stomping Ground here, I think. No, I can just try to pillage into a Dryad. I think that's probably okay. Life total does matter a lot at the moment. Okay, so they got 2 creatures in the yard for the Grist Ultimate. Still only 2 after the plus. They play Dryad Arbor for turn. They have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of power. I'm going down to 13 here. See what we draw off this. Another Pillage the Bog. So I guess I'm going to go play Bloodstained Mire. Cast Pillage the Bog. I think I just have to go, or should go, Freestrider Lookout into Fatal Push, and then I can't keep them off casting Yawgmoth, so I might just, I think maybe the ability to push a Yawgmoth is right. Obviously their top deck matters a lot here. So we'll go ahead and let this sacrifice go on the stack before we do anything else. Okay, I think I'm just going to push the Orc Army. Keep my life total high. High as possible, at least. Looking for a Valakut. Maybe we should have grabbed a fetch. No. So they can't ultimate the Wrenn and Six anymore. I'm gonna hit it for 5. Yeah, I guess one big problem here is I can't tap this ring twice, and I don't have another ring in my deck at the moment because I boarded down to 2, and I don't have any escape shifts. And yeah, I told you so's in the chat. Maybe I told you so that you don't need them. Because if I can just go... So can I go Pillage into another Valakut, cast Dryad, 1, 2, 3. I think I'm always gonna have to go Dryad Valakut land. Yeah, I still have fetchables, but I can only fetch 1 time, obviously, right? And then the Dryad lets me go another land. So I can go Dryad, Valakut, play fetch land. No, I would go play Mountain, so I can crack the fetch land after I get 2nd Valakut off this pillage. So I go cast Dryad, play Valakut, ping them. No, save Valakut. No, play Valakut. Play Valakut, ping them for 3. Play Mountain. Pillage the Bog into another Valakut. I'm just... Okay, if I find another Valakut, so I go Dryad Valakut into Pillage into another Valakut, I would have to go play Mountain, or so fetch land 3 into Valakut 6. So that's 3 plus 6 is 15. The Walker's time 2 creatures survive. There's a Raygon 3 in play. Yeah, maybe I can find Lookout. So if I go Dryad, if I go first, I can go. Well, if I lead on Bog, I see 2 less cards is the thing, but I think that I'm always, yeah. Let's lead on Bog. Tough turn. So we did find Freestrider and we didn't find Valakut. I think this makes it kind of easier because I don't think I'm ever grabbing another card. So we go. The problem is I can go cast Dryad, play Valakut 3 damage. I think I'm just a little short here, y'all. I don't think there's... Well, Valakut... Bolt? Wait, does Bolt just do it? Grab Bolt. 3, 6, 12, 15. Don't you have lethal? Did you play land? I haven't played a land. What do you mean, don't I have lethal? Don't I have lethal? Do you take push? I can't kill this stuff. Killing this stuff is not an option. Like, don't I have lethal? I'm trying to figure it out. I've been trying to figure it out for 5 minutes. Going crazy. Play Dryad, play Mountain, play Freestrider, play Valakut. The problem with that is you're playing Mountain before the Valakut, and you just have no way to win. There are no more rings in the deck. There are no more rings in the deck. I think we can only deal 15 damage basically no matter what. Do 15 and next step keep trying to fight Bolt. The problem is we just get attacked to death. And I can't go Dryad and commit I can't go Dryad Valakut, then play land to cast Lookout, then commit a crime. Dryad Valakut, Bog for Valakut. Dryad fetch land 5. We don't have enough mana to go. We don't have enough mana to cast this Bog and 2 more Dryads. We can play. I know we can play 3 lands and fetch, right? So it's 1, 2, 3. That's 12 damage. 15. It's not enough. Does Valakut triggers itself? I just type the lethal line out. Freestrider. The problem is we can't trigger Freestrider, right? We can't trigger Freestrider until after we play the Valakut. Or we can go Mountain, Valakut, Freestrider, play Valakut, and then we just have we're not getting it. Like I'm sorry, I'm just gonna stop looking at chat. Can you not do the 15 then Bolt? No, the Bolt is part of the 15. You win next turn? There's no next turn because of the ring. I cannot. This is the worst case of chat lethal ever. And then I'm also just dead to the attack is the problem. There are fetchables left. With Dryad, you can still tap. Can you bog for another ring? There are no more rings in the deck. Yeah, I think there's no line. I think there's no line. Again, I'm not going to be able to tap the ring in response to Bolt. I'm going to die to the attack. If I put all the damage on my opponent, I don't get to just tap the ring for Bolt. Play it out. I'm dead. I'm going to concede. Sin's close. Winning IP with Bolts. Yeah, I don't think we could clear enough blockers. Yeah, I don't think we could clear enough blockers on our turn to be able to have enough Bolts on our upkeep here. Hit 4 Bolts after already having used at least 1. Let's play. Hey Lens, 3 months. Crime's going okay. Everything's going okay. Thank you for the 23 months. You could play Brotherhood in the sideboard. It would be fine. It's like a little awkward with this card though. Upkeep Bolt was also a potential Lookout trigger. Yeah, but the Lookout was just too much mana after the Pillage for us to like have Valakut and Dryad in play and also Bolt. It's just, we had a mana. We also could not take Bolt and take the Freestrider. So you don't fetch on that turn. Just leave it. Is that somehow like a lethal line? I've saw some people say that a few times in the chat, but I'm just dead to the attack with the plan of like I'm gonna leave my fetch and upkeep to crack. Like a lot of people suggest talk about getting to the next turn. Yeah, it was an interesting spot. We were obviously 2 points short of lethal. 2 points short of lethal, very close. If we had another ring in the deck, like if we hadn't boarded down to 2, it would have been in better shape. Ooh. Are they playing the Freestrider Coffers? Kind of interested in see who's favored in this matchup. You're gonna leave the fetch untapped because it's a crime on your turn and hits the table. Second crime fetch on opponent's upkeep. Yeah, but I know about fetching on your opponent's turn to commit crime. There wasn't enough mana to do that though, right? And to kill them. Like tell me specifically what lands and spells to play in order there to do that. This does give them the revolt for push, which could be a problem. I think I graveyard that. Just a lot of better draws. All right, no push. That's good news. Sure being played everywhere. They're probably playing the list we played on Monday, and that list was really good. I would recommend it. It's on the 13, going down to 11 after their ring. We get Jegantha in our hand. We got 6 more damage coming next turn. More if our Lookout lives. Lookout Omnath in the oven. I don't know. 4-color Omnath decks. I don't like to spend a lot of time working on stream because like the leagues just take so long and they get really soupy. But you could probably play the card in Omnath. The thing is, Lookout is really good when you're like assembling powerful lands. So like when you're assembling Urborg Cabal Coffers or Valakut or like Urza Saga Field of Ruin. Like it usually shines in these kind of spots. It's a little less shiny. A little less shiny when you're just like putting random ass lands into play. They shock an Overgrown Tomb down to 9. They added a Nurturing Peatland to the deck. I guess Peatland's kind of interesting because if it has Urborg in play, you don't need to lose life. Maybe Peatland's better than I thought. Wow, they can't kill my Lookout. Okay, they're probably pretty cooked. Kind of unlucky after seeing so many cards, just not draw another removal spell. Why did we tap the fetch there? Well, I wasn't ever going to crack it on their turn, and I wanted to surveil and upkeep, but I guess it was just better to tap other stuff, but right, they're dead. Oh, enter tap from a Strider. Okay, right. I didn't tap it, but I wasn't wouldn't have if I could have either, because I wanted to commit the crime with it and like surveil on my upkeep. Or I guess I could have just failed end of turn. I'm doubting myself. Okay, up a game. Is this backseat gaming normal? It's like a little above average today. Like it's just kind of happening because we had like a really weird spot where it like seemed like we could probably win and it just turned out we couldn't. It's probably too many pick your poisons. You just kind of ignore their ring or play your own ring sometimes. You would just play like 1. Got a Bauble on the draw. It was okay. Yeah, that was a pretty extreme example of like there being a ton of options and like, there are a lot of different ways for a chat to find incorrect lines and me to find incorrect lines. Any chance we'll ever see a Battlewood stream? I've streamed Battlewood. Every Magic streamer has streamed Battlewoods before. Unlikely to happen super soon. I did not have Freestrider in the PowerPoint. I overlooked it. I want to I think I want to save the Bauble because if I put a Thoughtseize as Wrenn, I'll crack the Bauble, but I can just go like Wrenn next turn into plot pillage and to untap like plot for Freestrider, ping them, bauble them. Any thoughts on Green Black Conference Crimes? I built this deck on Monday. It was really good. We trophied with it on stream. It's a deck I would really recommend, and it's a deck I would like to play some more of too. They didn't take Wrenn and Six. They just have 2 discard spells. Going to take both of these. Pillage has been really good, I think. I mean, it's just been good in general. Maybe like... Okay, so we maybe only get 1 fetch with the Wrenn. Okay. Second fetch is a good draw. Why did they take the Wrenn? I'm a little confused. Okay, so we'll plot next turn. I mean, if they have their own lookout, it's kind of scary, I guess. We plot pillage, and if we assuming we don't draw Freestrider, and can set up to like 8 more looks at it, double crime. So it looks like they don't have one in their hand, which is good news. Is Relic only good because of Wrenn? They have Relic in their deck to commit crimes with. They're also playing Freestrider Lookout. I built their deck. So I could crack the Bauble here to get my fetch land back. I guess that's kind of nice, because if they have Karn, then I want to crack my Bauble anyways. And then they may also pop the Relic, which I think would be okay for me. And if Lookout is still going to be a good draw. I have another fetch land. It seems okay. Ashiok is really not so scary against us. We've got creatures to pressure them, and we don't have Escape Shift in our deck. Maybe exiling all my mountains is a problem. Okay, choose the One Ring. You can't Escape Shift Ashiok. I mean, I'm saying I don't have Escape Shift in my deck, is what I said. Maybe you misheard me. Actually, I think I do just want to take a Freestrider Lookout. And then ping the Karn, and then if they they lose the Karn, and they lose the Karn if they just play the ring and can't also remove the Freestrider Lookout, and at the moment it seems kind of tough for them to be able to do that. Here's the ring. Karn plus on the ring. Be interesting. Interest ring, perhaps. They graveyard another Ashiok, and then they minus their Karn. Kind of bummed they did this, because I wanted to be able to ping the Karn and commit a crime. Can't ping them because they have pro everything. They grab a Sundering Titan. If they play a Cabal Coffers next turn, they don't have enough mana because there's no Urborg. Certainly scary, though. So Bolt is a good draw. I'm going to pick up a fetch land, I guess. Doesn't matter a ton. I'm just going to fetch Dwarven Mine main phase, or... Sorry, Dwarven Mine is in my hand. Oopsie doopsie. They pro everything. But we can bolt them and, you know, commit a crime here. There's Ashiok, Sundering Titan, and then a bunch of mystery cards. They do play Cabal Coffers. This isn't 8 mana, is it? It's like 6 mana, right? Basically, yeah, 6 mana. Next turn they can probably cast Sundering Titan. Not sure that this is a card that has a lot of text here. Looks like they have a March. Yeah, their life total is going to be high enough, and I'm going to have enough fetching I want to do to kill the Ashiok. Kind of nice to get to do this before they minus it, too. Probably Surveil before I draw off my ring. Yeah, some people suggested the peatland in this deck. I wasn't playing one, but maybe just because of the Urborg, it's fine. I don't know. You just also don't want to sack your lands that often, but it is a nice hit off Lookout. Okay, let's Surveil first. Just trying to find something like this. Yeah, I think I'm going to play my second ring. I've been getting Invoked Despaired a lot. I mean, I think they're playing my list, but they at least changed the peatland, so... Well, they said they're a fan of the stream. I guess I'm not playing around the most. Seems okay. How many Valakut deck? We have we're playing 4. So there's the Urborg. I mean, the Sundering Titan. Oh wait, I have played a Valakut, a Dryad into the Sundering Titan, haven't I? Is this maybe just fine? Assuming they don't kill my Dryad. Oh wait, I just have the Bolt and they have a ring on 3, so they have to have a March. Which is weirdly fine. I can Wrenn and Six pick up the Valakut again. They can also kill the Dryad. It's worse, of course. They have a March, unfortunately. Wait, they marched the Wrenn and not the Dryad. So can I draw a Valakut? So let's play this land first, I guess. Then cast Pillage. Then we can play Valakut for turn if we find it. Or Valakut off this. 3 damage. Crack the fetch. 3 damage, then bolt them down to 1. I should have probably popped this first, but I think we can find another bolt to win the game. Is relevant to play around them finding a 3rd March. So if they find a 3rd March at this point, we're going to lose. If they don't, we're going to win. And good luck to you, opponent. Rancid with the 45 months. Thank you so much. They've already used 2, so they have to have the 3rd. Cling to Dust doesn't work because we've relicked the creatures away. Well, a removal spell plus Cling would work. Okay, got there. So lost a close one to Yawgmoth in round 2. Advanced to 2 and 1. Okay, 26 lands. Now that in our opening hand here. Okay, opponent's on a mold of 5. We're on a mold of 6. They mold of 4. So are we up against... Charm matchup's not super good. Got some cyber cards. Not Tron. Love to see Molda or Scalding Tarn. They could maybe be like a Hedron Crab deck or Dredge the still. GG's bingo. Skip shift is always hard for coffers. New build's way scary. Yeah, it's true. You could play like a Witchbane Orb in the sideboard to give yourself hexproof against Valakut. Mold of 4, Sign of Draco. Offer Fiend's Tower, Stomping Ground. I think the person's always playing like Calibrated Blast. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Also good against curses. Calibrated Blast makes a lot of sense here, but do they have one? Find out next time, or this time. Why did they not main phase that? Why would they not just attack, main phase it, then see if they should attack me or not? What the hell? So, Calibrated Blast matchup. The relics help a good amount. I guess I'm going to be bringing in Weather the Storm. So go think for the raid. You're doing well. Appreciate you. Calibrated Blast cannot flash back for a low enough number to not kill me here, so let's just go ahead and concede. I'm bringing in these Weather the Storms. Let's cut all of the 1-mana removal spells, I think. Bolt is kind of nice with Weather the Storm to gain more life. But pick your poison, killing Scion and Leyline if they have it. Sometimes they have some Leylines. It's probably good. Thoughtseize is kind of weird where like the life total going down is a really big problem, but they also may have Leyline of Sanctity, but we have pick your poison for that. Yeah, I think the rings are also pretty bad. Like the life loss on them is pretty tough, and the protection doesn't really matter because their thing is instant speed, so maybe we just cut the rings. We play like 2 bolts and the 2 Thoughtseizes. Could they have like 1 ring to like dig 4 off pillage, because sometimes you just need the cards. Boseiju could be useful. Yeah, I think I'm not useful enough, probably. Yeah, we played the Blast deck earlier. We went 3-2 with it. It was pretty fun. The Bronco Blast deck. Not the kind of thing that's super like revolutionary or anything, but it's pretty fun. Well, this Storm is a pretty funny card here. Use Bauble for Storm count. So let's go red-green or red-black Surveil Land into Thoughtseize into tap Stomping Ground into Bauble Lookout. Puts it on Mold to 6. Thinking was then split second Edict over Shieldreds. Against Domain Zoo, they can't Stubborn Denial it. Against Scam, they can't Undying Evil it. Against Prowess, they can't Spell Pierce it, and they can't Surveil in response. And like I'm not boarding in Shieldred's Edict against basically any decks with Planeswalkers. Yeah, also targets for a crime. Sudden Edict is really good right now. It's a really good card at the moment. Okay, they Gemstone Caverns, pitching Gemstone Caverns after mulliganing to 6. Yeah, Murktide can't counter. Not rocket science. What do you think about the Devoid Beans? That card is cool. I don't know. It's just the kind of thing that you can't really digest until you see the full spoiler. Lookout Gates sounds really fun. Probably more of a Pioneer thing. So keep this so we can go double crime next turn. They just have 2 Calibrated Blasts. Kind of scary. Why play Bauble turn 1? There's mostly because there's just not a lot of reason not to. Okay, so I guess we're looking for some Graveyard Hate. Against Calibrated Blast doesn't really matter, but you should just be in the habits of playing your Weather the Storm is the reason not to, I suppose. Sorry. I'm in the habit of playing them out and then cracking them either if depending on what my opponent does, if I need to find something, or just for crimes. Does mine do more than fetch a block with the deck? No, it's just value. People are really overthinking it. Your deck is playing a bunch of fetch lands and a bunch of mountains. Eldraine lands are pretty broken. Another Throes of Chaos. So if they're... Yeah, I guess they'll just be able to Cascade. It's a crime committer, I guess. We really want to find a relic. Is something wrong about the ring? The ring's pretty good against Throes of Chaos. So let's see what they hit first. They... Oh, so this is on the stack, and then they're going to reveal something to it. They reveal Shadow of Mortality to deal 15 to me. It's a lot of damage. Good to surveil a little bit deeper for a relic. Valakut is maybe, or Dryad is maybe enough for me to win, because I get to go Dryad, Valakut, Crime, pick up fetch lands. Yeah, I can crack the fetch. Seems good enough to keep on top. I might have to hit a Valakut off of one of my lookout triggers, but seems good enough to keep on top. So attack for 3. So if I drew a fetch land for turn, I could have pinged with Wrenn and Six if that ended up mattering. Don't think it really could. Does it really matter which land we get because they're all mountains? So I'm going to go ahead and fetch a... I guess I should wait for them to tap mana, because if like their hand is no, they discard the Boseiju. I think their hand is Articron Mystery Card. That Mystery Card is so unlikely to be a Calibrated Blast, but just in case it is, I think we should just wait to respond, right? And then if we hit any land, we have lethal, and we can even surveil. So we have like the extra. We have the extra one look at a land here. My opponent smiley faces in the chat. So surveilling first, spotting any non-land, keeping any land. Go to game 3. Sorry, I should have double checked their reveal pile. Just looking at it now. I don't see a revealed Leyline of Sanctity. They like always play 4 Leylines on the sideboard. Actually, I should just have the Boseiju, and they just always like play 4 Leylines. I'm gonna play a couple rings also. I don't know, we're on the draw. Never mind. Well, gotta keep, I think. So the Molten 6. Damping Sphere is extra turn against Cascade. Yeah, the thing is, it's like, it doesn't work against the Calibrated Blast, right? It doesn't do anything against that. And then, like, taking a turn off to make the Cascade a turn slower always kind of feels just like a losing battle to me, because you're taking a turn off to make their thing 1 turn slower. They have the turn to do it because you took the turn off the Damping Sphere. That's usually how I think about it, but maybe my thinking is flawed somehow. Been partial to the Capina ETB fetch for a basic. I haven't thought about that card at all. Could you say why it is you think that card is playable in Modern, or what you like about it? Does it gain a life, or is it because it's so, if you hit it when you have Valakut in play, it sacks itself, and then you get 2 triggers the turn you get it. So it's more tap lands. Did you gain a life? I see. Yeah, okay, it's kind of interesting. Yeah. It's, being a mostly modern player, not a card I've played a lot with, but could be good. The thing is, they just like don't keep hands without calibrated blast, so them having Scion plus blast is just so tough here. Like they could have Throes of Chaos and then Brick. Seems like how we could win, but seems like we're probably cooked. I guess they could also just Brick on this, right, and then not have another one. They did hit Throes of Chaos. They do target me instead of the Lookout. It's interesting. So let's hope they don't have a second blast and that we can either race or like find Relic to stop this one or weather the storm maybe. Must just like a ton of them, 1 or 2. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah. I don't know what I would cut at the just riffing here, but it's cool. I don't know. I'm open to it. You can only get basics, so yeah. I don't think you would play more than 2. Probably roll 1. My opponent has now typed sad face in the chat. Does that mean I'm dead, or does it mean it means that they bricked? I see. I understand. I could interpret. Yeah, the combo with Dryad gives you flow mana. Yeah. So draw my card off Bauble. Draw another Bauble. If I found Valakut, I could probably just kill them. Or sorry, Dryad. So let's see if we can pillage into one. 10 looks. Pretty good. It's kind of a bummer about Freestrider Lookout is like I have to trigger the Lookout here. I can't go like just say I'll trigger this after. I'll trigger this after I play my second Valakut. Has to be on the first one. Not the biggest problem, right? We have them dead to the Freestrider attack here. Play Valakut first. I guess you could have played Valakut first, but the thing is, come on, brother. Fucking why? They brick? They did brick. But I am... I didn't get to attack. Should have I attacked first? Yeah, the Bauble upkeep doesn't do it because they just killed the Lookout. And so we're dead to any untapped land, which is like most of their deck. And if it's not untapped land, it's like they have to have like all like Emrakuls and stuff. Pretty frustrating. Feels like big slow roll is what it is. Them having Scion into double blast in the play is pretty tough to beat. Get a 3-2 prediction. It might have been fine. Just it at least felt like a slow roll. Okay, we're on a mold to 6. I think on the draw that we'll just give this one a keep, despite it obviously having some problems. Yeah, I mean it was just like with the faces, but I think they're also just like probably supposed to main phase, but maybe they are just supposed to wait to see if they have to kill the thing. Yeah, I think they played it right. Just kind of felt like with the faces they were trying to slow roll. Yeah, I recant my statement here. I've looked at Leyline to have more Dryad-like effects to make Valakut easy to trigger. Leyline is not a card that like you play in your deck and then you're like all of a sudden pretty good at hitting all your land drops. Like the problem with Leyline is that you are you have Leylines in your deck and you're just like getting to 7 lands is really tough. It is cool that it works with Valakut. Don't think it is correct to play in this deck. So I guess an opponent who seems to be holding up some counter magic. This is a spot where you typically want to be plotting Pillage the Bog. The Bolt kind of changes that dynamic a little bit, but I think I'm still just going to plot. It's just kind of nice to set up for big use of this card and blank my opponent's mana. Right, let's go ahead and surveil. I think just first here. All right, I'm gonna just bolt this turn. We get to play around Spell Pierce kind of nicely. Not that they would Spell Pierce the Pillage, but I want to be able to draw the Dryad, and then I want to be able to like draw this as a really good card, and then pillage into another good card. I don't really want to pop the Relic yet. And I don't want to upkeep the bolt either, because then I let my opponent like double surveil maybe in their upkeep. I think I want to do it after they draw for this turn. Maybe the draw step was right. But also we can get our opponent to... I guess they're not going to counter the bolt that often. Maybe they'll cast something else. I considered Salted Bog Wreck. We've played it on stream 2 days ago. Because I maybe should have tapped this first, but there's always exiling with just land. Okay, so let's just see if Dryad resolves. Which is, yeah, never going to, but just make him use this. And then I think I'm just going to... I could try to pillage into a removal spell, but I think I'm just going to like pop the Relic this turn. Then cast it next turn. Should you let the attack go through? Would have saved 1 life. Yeah, I think I should have. Not cracking Relic was leaving us bad spot against Murktide. I know what my opponent is playing Surveil combo. They're not playing Murktide. This is magical mod of the channel. It's a deck we were working on for a while. They have really liked it, and they've been playing it a lot. So now I need to not pop this Relic, because if my opponent has Underworld Breach, we could just die anyways. So I'll pop it end of turn now. Or maybe just not at all. Yeah, maybe not at all. Okay, so I'm going to cast this Pillage the Bog. Choose Freestrider Lookout. Didn't hit an actual Mountain, which is, the least likely. I should have tapped the Relic. It just kind of doesn't matter a ton. They just have so many cards that I'm just gonna I'll pop it, and chewing away at their irrelevant cards just is kind of irrelevant for me. So do I want to play around 2 copies of Lightning Bolt? They certainly could have 2 copies of Lightning Bolt. The problem is, so if I go crack, they can combo with Breach here potentially. So they go Breach, fetch Surveil, 3 cards in the yard, cast Channeler. They would have to have Breach and something else in their hand. It's pretty possible, but it feels like this is my best chance to win. Is to just try to kill him really fast with the Freestrider Lookout. Put them attack before popping off Relic for free kill. There's a really good chance I die to a combo kill with this line, but I'm still doing this. They graveyard Underworld Breach, which means I'm pretty dead. Yeah, they're gonna cast their entire library into Thassa's Oracle here. So Damping Sphere shuts their combo off. They're likely going to be bringing in some Pick Your Poisons, though. It's also a card they can play through kind of easy. Stopping them from comboing just doesn't matter that much if they're just in on the channel or counterspell plan, and they can just still... I think I'll play one Damping Sphere and not the second. And then I think I want to bring in both these Fatal Pushes. Although I think our opponent can also be in on Blood Moon, which is kind of bad for me. The Pick Your Poison can kill Shredder and Channeler, so maybe we should just have this, and then maybe we should trim on the bolts. Get the Baubles. How do they draw the deck with only one DRC? They have Enhanced Surveillance, which is an enchantment that says whenever they surveil, they can surveil 2 extra cards, which is 3. So one Bauble lets them surveil 3 cards into the yard and repeat that loop until they win the game. Seems like an okay removal suite on the play. Can maybe reassess on the draw. Boseiju for Breach, no. I mean, we have 4 relics. Boseiju on Breach isn't always the best, especially against their considers. You could definitely have it. Doesn't Weather beat them? No, they win with Thassa's Oracle. They bounce into Molten 6. So I'm likely going to want to fetch Raucous Theater into basic forest so I can play around the Blood Moon. My opponent taps Spiral Canal, then untaps, which is interesting. Gonna graveyard the fetch. I'm really into plotting Pillage the Bog against counterspell decks, so I'm just gonna play this tapped. Biznez, 27 months. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well today. Appreciate you. Yeah, we can just grab a forest, and then if my opponent's planning to Blood Moon, we got the Pick Your Poison in our hand. Like we can maybe also like pillage for something. Digging through slime. Fortunately, kind of far away from Dwarven mining. To take a ring for me, which would have been okay top deck, I guess. Kind of just chilling, I think. I like that we could pay for Spell Pierce on the Wrenn. I kind of just don't think that there's like a ton of better plays into obvious counterspell that just like try to bait it off the Wrenn and Six, so it doesn't really seem like we should be using our pillage here. Could even just like if they're just holding up counterspells again, I could even just like spend next turn plotting again, but we'll see what they do. Any spell pierces? Okay, there's not really many cards that they can hit off Ragavan that I care that much about, so I'm just gonna surveil after the Ragavan hits instead of before. Gloom, think of the 44 months. Appreciate you, homie. Getting busy for the 27. But it has only 1 mana up, so our ability to go off here seems kind of high. So let's play Mountain, cast the Pillage, top 10. Do we think that they have a second Spell Pierce? Usually they do on this channel, but let's go ahead and cast the ring anyways. Okay, not this time. We can maybe push a Channeler to stop. It's going to be pretty tough for them to combo off in this spot. Okay, Graveyard's a Delta. Does not seem like they have enhanced surveillance for the combo. They do have a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. So I guess I'm going to push the token, untap, and PYP. Thinking about maybe playing the Monkey versus bluffing Counterspell. I think Magical plays really fast. Sometimes fast playing can be pretty big tells here, where like Magical just doesn't have the card Counterspell in their hand if they're thinking about casting their Ragavan there. It's kind of obvious that's what they were thinking about. Okay, Dryad's a good pickup. Let's pillage first. So I'm gonna leave up the Relic Sacrifice instead of Pick Your Poisoning the Fable. Yeah, I don't think it was good to pick your poison to play around Spell Pierce, but maybe it was. Maybe I watched too many poker vlogs, but it's like because people put so much importance on like blockers, like, oh, I have an ace in my hand, so it's way less likely that you have an ace, so there's like two aces on the field, so you're not gonna have an ace, and so like my opponents used one spell pierce here. It's just like so much less likely that they have a spell pierce. I think it's just okay to just better to jam and save this for Blood Moon. And if we didn't resolve the ring, it wasn't the end of the world. I haven't worked on Blue Crime Brews yet. Just finished this up in the Bronco deck yesterday. Then went and watched a Dallas Wings game last night, and it was a really good game. They're like behind the whole game, and they had this like crazy momentum at the end to win by 12. It's a WNBA. It was a big. I might lose power. That was a big thunderclap. I think maybe our opponent's not on Ledger Shredders when we have the pick your poisons for them, and the bolts are just like a lot easier to cast. So I think I'm gonna actually kind of pivot back towards this removal spell suite. Might even play just one more push on the draw and just cut the Damping Sphere. Damping Sphere is always so much worse on the draw, no matter what deck you're playing. But just having the extra removal spell for Ragavan seems nice. Okay, I reveal my best friend Jegantha. Mulligan, I think. It's Mulligan. Just if we had a fetch land instead of the Dwarven Mine, we could keep, but we didn't, so let's Mulligan. And then I can't fetch for Blood Crypt and then push with this hand next turn anyways, so I think I just put back the Mountain. Maybe putting a little bit too much faith in Wrenn and Six resolving, but we can maybe keep this forest as a hedge. I missed the Magdas. We lost against Yawgmoth. Magda's been a really good card against Yawgmoth. The match was really close. Yeah, so if I really care about resolving Wrenn, which I definitely do this game, I don't really like to just jam it on turn 2, because if you jam it on turn 2, then it just lets your opponent expressive iteration on turn 3, which they're like that's usually something they really want. So if I'm gonna, I kind of like to just wait a turn to maybe make iteration more awkward. It's been something I've done in the past. Also, good chance to just end up playing Dryad. I think I have to graveyard this because we just kind of need, I think, a lands here. Yeah, let's bait counterspell with Dryad. Why Dwarven Mine free roll the mountains? Yeah, the Throne of Eldraine lands are really busted, and the mountain is you just fetch it for value. It's not not the most complicated. People have been really overthinking it today. Okay, now we can Wrenn and Six. Now I wish I had the Freestrider knowing the next card was a Wooded Foothills, but we can Wrenn and Six and not get Spell Pierce. My opponent does Surveil a Spell Pierce into the yard. And then they dash a Ragavan. Flipping a Stomping Ground. So one less mountain in our deck. Counterspell number 2. So getting pretty likely that our ring is going to resolve, I guess. And it's Ragavan and 4 mystery cards. I have a feeling this ring is going to resolve. I'm not 100% sure, of course. No, okay, it was never resolving. I wish you could bring the Counterspell Crime deck on stream. That'll be one that'll be better for that's not. It's just too open, you know. Be better for it to be off stream, unfortunately. So they loot away just Scalding Tarn, so we're assuming the rest of we only have Ragavan and then 3 other cards. I'm surprised Ragavan didn't get looted away. because of the Dwarven Mine situation. Let's wait on the removal spell for this. Okay, just gonna push main phase, see what happens. Oh, sorry, I should Jegantha here. Yeah, Lookout is seeing legacy play. A lot of people are like kind of arms racing over there to figure it out in that format. I thought about trying to figure it out myself, but I just don't play enough legacy to try to really. Hopefully this is the Ragavan. Nice. Why Dwarven Mine? Might need a burn spell, but then we just bolt the Ragavan. Fluxion doesn't do a ton by itself in this deck. They can maybe sometimes copy a Channeler. Don't need to be too worried about it. Still have 2 cards in their hand. Go Jegantha. Okay, some work for some juice for the reflection. So I gotta bottom this because my opponent can just start copying it with the reflection. I guess I was wrong about them not having a lot to do with it. Oh, brutal. That's probably the game. Good game for sure. We'll play it out, of course. Got Athena. Trying her best to get comfy in the middle of the storm. We'll place another Channeler. Kind of hoping they like main phase copy. They should probably just hold up the subtlety. Let's take 6 and see what we draw. Looking for a 1 ring. Fetch land to maybe kill the reflection could be good. But then I guess we're just dead to the aerial attack. Okay, this is a good pickup. This will allow me to push the reflection, and then I think I want to pick your poison the subtlety. This kind of mean I have to pump the brakes here. Copy the subtleties. Now I can't pick your poison. I guess I should just attack, and then have them chump block here, and then I can pick your poison. So maybe I'm letting the Channeler get in for 2 more. Just pick your poison the reflection better. You know what? I guess it was better just pick your poison on enchantment, because then I could leave this back to maybe block these 2. So obviously attacking is not going to be that good. So they bolt into clear and kill me. Okay. GG. GG. Wait, 2-3 first league. Most of the matches pretty close. Still, fan of the archetype overall. Kind of wish we had played against Prowess. These leagues go kind of long, so I don't know if I want to play another one with this deck, but I do think we played against someone who's playing.